I mentioned to you Monday night, but I didn't
I am gonna.
Have that from the slide.
Oh, they're cookies.
You've got a minute?
We have to delay.
You've got a minute. You know what? I know the guy that starts the meeting. It's okay.
Why isn't the video
I
working?
haven't heard from Weber or Todd, so I don't know what's going on there. They're missing the,
Somebody in the room?
Steve Devery made sure to get those for you.
I'm talking to the person behind the wall, sorry.
The wizard,
The wizard behind the wall.
Steve. Devery got those for you.
Take him up.
Well, for everybody.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
They don't want to use media.
Poor
I'm a little
Steve.
concerned that no one else wants to eat them. For you.
I took my half.
What do we have?
In there, he's troubleshooting a technical issue and said, wait just a minute. He thinks everything will be coming up.
These right here.
that's a good spot. Hey, thank you for the offer, Council President.
Get me through the rest of the night.
But I will be taking the 0.
I sent my wife the links.
Last weekend, a stressful weekend, so I comforted with
Actually, you want to see me
best food.
every Tuesday night.
I need to be clean for a few days.
So, oh, she can get.
So quiet.
Devery knows.
Yep.
City recorder, are we ready?
We are.
All right. We will call to order the Fairview City Council for Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. If we could please have a roll call.
Counselor Copeland,
Here.
Counselor Owen,
Here.
Counselor Dennerlein, Counselor Marker,
Yeah.
Mayor Kudernon.
Here, and for the record, I did not hear from either Councilor Weber or Councilor Todd, so I am unsure as where it's going there. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And yes, this is out of order, but you know, you can enjoy the sash while I have it on. This was a favor from the, or a party favor from the Rose Festival Parade. I had not had a chance to wear it as of yet. So just thought I'd have a little fun tonight. Next, we have citizens wishing to speak on agenda items. Jillian Malchuk, come on down. If you could just for the record state your name and city of address, and then the floor is yours.
I'm Julia Melchuk, and I'm president of the board for Metro East Community Media. I'm here to address consent agenda item 4C related to the dissolution of the Mountain Cable Regulatory Commission. On behalf of the Metro East board staff and our East County communities, I want to thank the mayor and council for your support during this transition from the MHCRC. We also owe Councilor Dennerlein a huge thank you for all his support of Metro East while serving as your representative on the MHCRC, and also as the commission's representative on our board of directors. But I'd like to especially highlight Nathan George's contribution to this process. Nathan was dropped into the middle of this transition when he first started as city manager. But that didn't really seem to faze him. He was willing to listen to your community about Metro East services and impact. He grasped issues quickly and reached out with questions. And he figured out how to be a partner with Troutdale, Wood Village, and Multnomah County on this IG tonight. And he did all this among getting up to speed and addressing the other pressing issues in your city, City of Fairview. I think it was a pretty impressive feat, so thank you. It means moving forward, supporting us. So thank you again to the council. We are really looking forward to continuing our working relationship and supporting the communities that we serve.
Thank you very much. And while you're here, thank you for all the work that you've done for East County. I too want to echo what you said, as well as Councilor Denneline. He has worked a lot with that board and the MHCRC, and I am going to boldly speak on behalf of council and say thank you. Thank you for your work. You've done a very good job of keeping us apprised as far as what's coming. Do appreciate it. Next, we have a presentation, Multnomah County Sheriff. If you want to come on down, we are very well represented by MCSO tonight. We usually have one. We've tripled it for the night. Why not? I don't think we're going to keep you quite as long as last night's meeting did. Last night's was, for the record, Troutdale's, and I believe they were there until midnight.
We were there.
You were there until well after 11 p.m. I think half of our council would be falling asleep at that point. So I don't see that happening tonight.
It's actually in our rules.
9:15.
9:15.
Unless we.
Unless we go.
Yeah. It was yours.
All right, good evening, Mayor Guggenheim and members of the City Council. I'm Nicole Morrissey-Dallum, Multnomah County Sheriff. With me today, I am Captain Ryan Hackala, who is your assigned Chief of Police for the City of Fairview. And I have Chief Deputy Lance Hemsworth, who oversees all of our complex law enforcement operations across the entire county. So as Sheriff, my top priority is community safety. And I'm proud of the work that our members do in service to the City of Fairview and all of our communities across Multnomah County. And tonight, we appreciate the opportunity to share our work and share just a little bit more in depth of the public safety services that we provide and the results that we've achieved together with the city alongside MCSO. Next slide. So I'd like to level set with vision and mission and really just talk about how we partner together because we have similar values and strong partnerships are built on strong values. So while the City of Fairview and MCSO, we have different missions, we're also guided by many of the same principles. Committed to promoting a vibrant quality of life and core values that include a safe and livable neighborhood, transparency and integrity. Those are the same principles that are reflected in our vision of a safe and thriving community for everyone and our mission to support all community members through exemplary public safety service. And together, our partnership reflects a shared commitment to professional public safety services, earning and maintaining community trust, and adapting to meet the evolving needs of our Fairview community. Next slide. So our agenda tonight will cover an overview of the public safety agreement and the service law enforcement law, including the specialized resources available to Fairview that extend far and beyond traditional control services and are provided through your partnership with the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. We'll do a review of the service data for calendar year 2025, and we will also highlight the collaborative partnerships, community engagement efforts, focused public safety initiatives, and a few of our upcoming priorities for this year. Next slide. So just to recap, since 2017, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has proudly served and partnered with the City of Fairview to provide a stable, professional, and community-focused public safety model that serves residents, visitors, and businesses. Our agreement, as you know, provides 24/7 patrol and emergency response services, investigations, administrative support, dedicated leadership, and access to specialized units and resources that strengthen both our day-to-day operations and provide quick, robust response to critical incidents and significant events. These services are also supported by a fully accredited law enforcement organization with comprehensive training, modern technology, and strong professional oversight. Together, this creates a full-service law enforcement model that provides the local responsiveness that Fairview values, and we can deliver that with the flexibility and the specialized resources to meet the needs of today and building into the future. And now I'll turn it over to Captain Ryan Hackala to walk through the details of our annual report.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Sorry.
Good evening, Mayor Kudrna and council members. I'm Captain Ryan Hackala, and I'm honored to serve as your Chief of Police for the City of Fairview. The deputy sheriffs assigned to the City of Fairview provide 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, comprehensive public safety and policing services throughout the city.
A minimum of one sergeant is on duty to supervise these efforts at all times. This is accomplished through 3 10-hour shifts. 1 uniformed deputy is assigned to each overlapping shift. In addition, there's a second deputy providing an additional 10 hours of service during the busier evening hours. In total, Fairview receives a minimum of 40 hours of patrol service each day. In addition, Fairview receives access to additional services such as marine patrol, investigations, administrative support, community engagement programs, and more, which we'll cover later in the presentation. Lastly, I serve as your chief of police. In this role, I serve on the Public Safety Advisory Committee, I attend monthly city council meetings, and I respond to various needs and requests of the city on a daily basis. Next slide, please. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office provides a wide range of services to the city of Fairview. Many of these specialized units operate behind the scenes and may not be visible to the community, yet they play a critical role in keeping Fairview safe. Each of these units bring unique expertise, capabilities that enhance MCSO's ability to deliver the highest level of service to the community. Next slide. Beyond the primary units previously mentioned, the Sheriff's Office also provides several auxiliary units that carry additional levels of specialized service and expertise. All of these specialties are available to the city of Fairview as necessary. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is also nationally accredited, demonstrating our commitment to meeting rigorous professional standards and continuously improving the services that we provide to the communities that we serve. We're going to walk through the service data for last year, calendar year of 2025. In 2025, Multnomah County Sheriff's Office had 6,128 calls for service in the city of Fairview, which resulted in 367 arrests. 3,322 of those total calls were self-initiated. There were 690 total reported crimes, with 91 cases being assigned to detectives. These account for 13.2% of the total cases assigned to detectives from MCSO's service areas. Some cases take more time and resources than others. I'd like to take this opportunity to briefly talk about a recent tragedy that occurred in Fairview Lake neighborhood on February 23rd, 2025. MCSO was dispatched to a subject down in a front yard. Once on scene, deputies located a deceased individual and evidence of gunfire. The major crimes team was activated to investigate this homicide. This team consists of highly trained and experienced detectives and investigative staff from the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, Gresham, the Port of Portland, and Oregon State Police, and the District Attorney's Office. In the days following the incident, detectives worked tirelessly, eventually identifying a suspect and an associated vehicle. Within 3 days of the incident, the MCT, the Major Crimes Team, was able to scour the Portland metropolitan area, locating and arresting the suspect by our multi-agency tactical team. After the arrest, additional evidence was recovered, including the firearm that was used in the shooting. The suspect is still in custody and is scheduled for trial early next month. I highlight this incident to capture and share the commitment to the community by the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office and our investigators to identify, locate, arrest, and prosecute individuals engaged in criminal activity. This case alone required 6 different search warrants and staffing that totaled 21 detectives from 4 different agencies, 2 detective sergeants, 1 investigative analyst, 1 patrol deputy temporarily assigned to detectives, 4 Gresham Police crime scene investigators, 1 deputy district attorney, and 15 tactical team members. All of this spanned a total of just 3 days. I'd also like to mention that this occurred approximately 1 week after another homicide from a different service area that Multnomah County Sheriff's Office was investigating at the same time. These types of cases are intense in so many ways, and it's only through incredible dedication, partnership, and expertise that allow us to see these cases through to conviction. 24/7 records coverage for the city of Fairview resulted in 2,728 total reports processed. There were 788 citations issued, 134 restraining orders were entered, and 528 warrants as well. Please note that 1 ticket can have several citations, 1 case can have several reports, 1 individual can have multiple warrants. So that helps explain the higher numbers. Next slide, please. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office values the opportunity to be part of the many community events hosted by the city of Fairview. These events give our deputies the chance to interact with residents in a relaxed, fun environment that supports both positive interaction between law enforcement and the community. We look forward to participating in Fairview's Easter egg hunt, tree lighting, and Summerfest each year. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office provides 2 school resource deputies to the Reynolds School District. The role of the SRD is often outreach and mentorship first, and law enforcement second. These 2 seasoned SRDs are based out of Reynolds High School, but responded to 39 staff requests at various schools throughout Fairview last year. These requests, in addition to 67 voluntary visits, generated 4 reports. These deputies also taught 10 law and rights classes to Reynolds Middle School, totaling just under 12 hours of total classroom instruction. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office participates in several enhanced public safety missions throughout the year with our area partners. These data-driven missions often focus on certain types of crimes like stolen vehicles, firearm enforcement, or livability concerns. Although these missions span several East County locations, Fairview will often benefit from the focused enforcement within the city limits or nearby areas that may trickle across the city boundaries. The stats you see here are not limited to the city of Fairview, but they do capture the successes and proven positive impacts that these missions have on our communities.
Thank you, Captain Meckler. I appreciate the partnership that our members of MCFO, myself, have with the city of Fairview to provide professional, high-quality public safety services. And as we look ahead, we remain focused on continuing to strengthen our operations and expand our services through the priorities that you see on the screen here tonight. So continued advancement of our drone technology and full implementation of body-worn cameras to enhance transparency, operational effectiveness, situational awareness, and public safety response capabilities. Continued expansion of our public safety missions and initiatives that are focused on stolen vehicles, gun violence reduction, dangerous driving and DUI enforcement, drug trafficking, and other high-impact operations that address community concerns. What I appreciated on the last slide was that is a picture of 4 agencies coming together to do a DUI mission all through all of our contract cities. And it was to honor 2 of our fallen reserve deputies who were killed in line of duty by a drunk driver. And we do that every year at OSP, MCSO, Gresham, Port. We were all there to participate in that and honor. We also bring families of the fallen in. So that picture means something to this organization and this community. We will also be working through public safety, the contract, the services contract with city leadership in this coming year. And my commitment remains that we ensure that the Fairview community continues to receive responsive services that the community has expected and deserves, and they come to expect that, and we're here to provide that. Including that we want to keep response times low. We want to maintain specialized expertise that's required for modern policing. We want to maintain and grow our leadership and meaningful community engagement opportunities, which is in our new and upcoming strategic plan. And then maintaining a robust organizational accountability from the line level all the way up the chain is critically important to continue to build community trust and building our organization into the future. We are proud to serve as Fairview's law enforcement agency, and we remain committed to working with city leadership as we move forward with this contract and make sure that our services are always in alignment with the priorities and Fairview community expectations. And as we close, I do want to recognize the members of the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office who serve Fairview and the communities across all of our county. Every day, they step into this uniform, demonstrate professionalism, integrity, compassion, while often putting themselves in difficult and dangerous situations, all to protect the safety of others. And I just appreciate everything that they do for all of us every single day. Next slide. Thank you. We're happy to answer any questions you may have. And so I don't forget, I'm also happy after this meeting if things come up or there's opportunities to sit down and talk further about the sheriff's office or priorities or where we can group. I'm also open to meeting with each and every one of you as well.
Excellent, thank you so much. Are there any questions from council? Councilor Dental.
Thank you for the presentation. Nicely done. I have a question about HOPE. That's the one program that I actually really kind of used and was really for, and now all of a sudden, it's not. It's not that it's not there, but the response certainly isn't there. I emailed this morning, there's a dilapidated RV sitting in front of my office over at the Troutdale Airport, an air agency, so it kind of gets a little dicey because you're talking about FAA, and the feds don't really like houseless living around airports. Didn't hear anything back. Whereas for May, I could make that email and get a response usually within a half an hour. Hey, yeah, we're going to send somebody by. Is there any hope of bringing that back? No pun intended. That was the one thing that's important to me. I mean, I think Burton's a great dog. However, I could get rid of Burton in place of the HOPE team. You know, what are we going to do? Because that's the one thing I think every citizen here, when they're aware of it, that's what they want. So.
Absolutely. So just to clarify that Burton's handler takes 911 calls and takes a patrol district every day. So we're not paying an additional deputy sheriff to
Babysit
have an additional program. So this year, through the county budget process, and several of them, but I've been fairly successful the last 2 years. I did have reductions this year, and that's what we'll talk about today. Navigating essentially down to mandated versus non-mandated service. And I need deputy sheriffs taking 911 calls and doing criminal investigations around child abuse, theft, around homicide, and my initial intent around the HOPE team, because I have unfunded positions that I'm trying to fund in the budget to do that work, was to reallocate funding to positions critical for accountability for those that are engaged in criminal activity in our community. And I had tough decisions to make this year. And we're trying to work more closely with the county to bring out more outreach services, because I know they did a great job, but that is one of the highest paid resources that, again, I need to be taking 911 calls and doing police services that require police certification, and I had to just make tough decisions. So I'll let Captain Hakala or Chief Hemsworth speak about the operations, but just know that those are very tough decisions for us, and we know the impact that HOPE has made since 2016. I was the chief deputy of law enforcement when we reinvested in 2019 and made sure they were fully staffed. And I know they built relationships across all of our communities, and they were there on the spot. So we recognize the gap that has left, and we are working hard to figure out how we can fill that gap and ensure that we have county resources that are coming to assist us in that, because we are part of the county.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. I just came because I missed you guys, but I might be able to answer some of these questions as well. First, I talked to Councilor Marker just briefly before this is back here a little early, and we're chatting. Love the HOPE team. I love the HOPE team. Sheriff loved the HOPE team. It was a real loss to lose them for sure. That being said, the law enforcement division remains committed to each and every one of those calls to our normal procedure. In the meantime, we have a plan set up for a new email and all the different things that we can go through. I always encourage you to call non-emergency or anything or not non-emergency. Forward times have improved greatly. You can go through our new day shift lieutenant who's managing that, or as always, you can call your chief of police. And if you still have my cell phone number, like I promised Councilor Marker, call me anytime. I'll do whatever I can for you and take care of you. But we definitely intend for the same service to be remain. We realize that we're so used to HOPE.US, and I get that.
Yeah.
But we're going to provide the same level of service and have provided the same level of service in all of our communities since getting rid of the HOPE team. It's just simply the going to not the HOPE email and Sergeant Kirkman showing up and they to solve the problem. But he is in your building now, if you didn't know. He is, this week he's the newest addition to the detective team. So He's not far away, he's just doing different work.
And if I can just double down real quick on what the chief had said, the services are still there, it's just gonna look different, right? There's a transition period from what the Hope team, because not only do we all love the Hope team, the deputies love the Hope team too, because we had true subject matter experts in that field. They knew the case law, they knew the contacts, the resources, they knew everything around that. So the deputies had that luxury of having them there. So now that they're not there, steps were taken ahead of time to try to ease the transition, to make it as smooth as possible, identifying what resources are available, working with our city partners, our city contracts, to try to lessen the impact, but there is gonna be some impact for a temporary period of time while the deputy's gonna get readjusted to the new way of doing things. As the chief said, we're still fully committed to it. We're still working to address the concerns. We're still working with the city when the issues are brought to our attention.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilor Marker.
I was on the Hope team when it got started out here. Unfortunately, there were some things that turned around and happened with the mayor of Wood Village, who didn't like the fact that we were kind of going our own way, and so then what happened was all of a sudden Multnomah County said, well, we can't keep this bickering going on and stuff like that, so we're gonna have to turn around and do something. So that's when you guys stepped in, and you guys have always done a fantastic job. My problem is that you guys' hands are tied, it seems like constantly, in order to turn around and be able to do something. Like, just for example, trying to keep all the homeless people out of East County. You go to any neighbor in this town, and the first thing they're gonna tell you is, when are you gonna keep the homeless folks back in Portland where they belong? Because they feel that they're getting a bad deal by those folks turning around and coming out here. And the last question that I have is that when we have a situation to where all of a sudden you guys can't turn around and do anything about the homeless folks anymore or anything like that, is there a caveat or is there something in the contract that says, okay, well, Fairview, you can't get any homeless people off the street and we can't help you, so we can't turn around and change the contract? So my feeling is that if you guys can't do what we need for you to do, what can you do to turn around and mitigate what you can't do? That's my question.
Thank you, Counselor. So we're working closely with the city. There's things that the city can do on their side, and we're guided by case law and the rules that we have to follow. That's what guides our decision making. There's laws that say what we can and can't do. We follow that. We work with the city. There's laws that says what the city can and can't do. So we're in constant communication. I'm in constant communication with the city regarding what resources they have, what they're able to do, and tying that in with what we're able to do also. And so we work with the homeless community to address the situations on a case-by-case situation. They're all different, but the decisions that we make are largely guided by what we're allowed to do. And that's regarding like posting camps, and there has to be a certain number of hours that it has to be posted beforehand. There has to be somewhere for the houseless individual to go to. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle that we're working through, that we continue to work through, because as they change, we have to change as well. But what's important is that we maintain that close partnership with the city and that we're working together to come up to the best solution for the individual and for the city.
I would just touch on, while there is complex situations that you alluded to, something like 91% of the time we're able to find a solution, whether that's getting the person housed, getting them moved to a better, safer location that's better for the community, or, you know, if it's a criminal matter, they're done with it as a criminal matter. So while I definitely understand that a single issue or a single vehicle can be very present in mind when the same cars in the same place, I will just rephrase and say that the vast majority of them, we are helping them or helping them to a better location, it's better for them, better for the community.
I know the one day that you came out and we were doing the paper shredding and stuff like that, there was a guy that was actually sleeping at the very top of the freeway as you're turning around and going down into Wood Village, okay? Was at the very top. All he had to do is turn one way and he's dead. He's gone, spot. And, you know, you hate to turn around and see something like that happen to somebody. And if you also remember, there was a guy that was sleeping under our freeway on a consistent basis. And we tried to get the guy out of there and he says, I don't want your help. Don't come and help me. What do you do in a situation like that if a guy turns around and says, I don't want your help? But you can't leave him there because he's got a bad chance of getting hit and killed by a car, especially in that area.
Yeah, that's one of those unique, small percentage challenges that I think that we're talking about. I responded to that call that day and they did that gentleman wrong. If it's criminal, then we deal with it criminally. If it's not criminal, establish a rapport with them. That particular day, I think that it was a Big Mac that got him out of that situation. So all different kinds of tools, and I solved the problem for that time that day, and then got there the next day. But each day we were trying to find a solution to a complex problem.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I just had a question. As it relates with staffing, sworn officers, approximately how many sworn officers are there today, and how many sworn officers are in the budget?
So we have, I'll give you the vacancy rate first. We have about a 5% vacancy rate in the law enforcement division. We're staffed, because we keep adding staff to our transit police contract. I want to level set so that doesn't impact any of our contract cities. That we've been around 102 to 105 deputy sheriffs, 20 sergeants, 20 to 21 sergeants, and then our command staff on top of that.
And I mean, are you fully staffed as it relates to the budget or the money that?
We have about 3 vacancies, but we are right now in the position where we're trying to reconcile and make sure that we actually have 3 vacancies before we keep hiring.
Yes, we are essentially fully staffed. We're right as the sheriff said, we're right.
It sounds like it's kind of right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus or minus. And what are you expecting, and I don't know how your budget years run, but I mean, what are you expecting from the next budget cycle?
For
As it relates to staffing, I mean, are you feeling pressure that you're going to have to make some hard decisions, or do you feel like there's going to be some money?
You're going to make increases, you know, sometimes I'm going to use not the optimistic. Sheriff probably has more realistic.
So first, I want to say that the reason that we are able to be nearly fully staffed, which has been a milestone we've been striving for a few years now, probably more than a few, is because I advocated for a $1.9 million investment in human resources at the very end of 2024, and we were able to start staffing those at the beginning of 25. We completely overhauled our hiring process for civilian, sworn corrections, and sworn law enforcement. Obviously, on the sworn roles, maintaining all of the background processes in accordance with state law and to ensure we're getting the best of those that are applying with us and the most professional applicants that are ready to serve MCSO with our values. With our civilian roles, we were able to create several efficiencies and get within best practice, where we were not in alignment and our processes were taking too long for civilian roles. So there were places in our organization that had a 25% vacancy rate, and we have 2 vacancies right now. Where we're challenged is the corrections division. The corrections division is massive. There are about over 400 deputy sergeants and command staff that run our 2 jails, transports, adults in custody, as well as our court services processes. And that's where, as we get staffed up everywhere else, we can focus on staffing corrections so we can maintain and then ask potentially for an additional jail dorm as needed to support all of the great work that our law enforcement partners are doing. So in the years to come, my understanding is that we are going to continue to see reduction years. We have been communicating already about that we are down to mandated service. Much of our law enforcement division is on some kind of contract, and we don't pull people from any contracts. We maintain that service level everywhere. And so I don't see big reductions that will impact law enforcement. If there's reductions, we'll be talking about those most likely in the largest parts of the organization that are the highest dollar figure.
And then just a follow-up question, just as it relates to, I guess, the Multnomah County Jail and capacity. And I know in years gone by, there's always big stories, and it's probably been a while ago since I heard it, as far as releasing, inmates just because of capacity. I mean, where are you at today as it relates to capacity in those facilities?
We're hovering around 85% today. Over the 3-day weekend, we get close to 90. Last year, it's been kind of an interesting trend. Last year and this year in February, we approached 95%. We were able to swing open a dorm for a little while and avoid any kind of emergency release. But that's also why I want to get the staffing levels to a point where we have enough staff to open an additional dorm and ask for that funding, because I'm budgeted for 1,130 beds. And I don't have the budget to continue to open dorms unless I go back in front of the county commission and advocate for that funding.
And so would you say in the last 6 months, you've actually had, call it an emergency is declared and you've had to release inmates?
No, I haven't released inmates in my tenure. We have gotten up to 92, 93%. We've opened another dorm, and then we've been able to, after a big court day on Mondays, we've been able to put people, take people out of that additional dorm, so we're not staffing that for a number of days and going over budget. But I know that it's very unpredictable, and we have seen high booking numbers over the last couple of weeks, and so we're watching it very closely every single day.
Good, thank you.
Councilor Marker. Sheriff, I got one more question, and I just heard this on the news as I was coming over here tonight.
Yeah.
They're talking about Troutdale getting rid of you guys and starting their own police department. What's that gonna do for MSCO if all of a sudden they go that route?
So I provided public testimony two of the meetings for the working group and for the council. And essentially, I want to cover a couple things. That our positions that are there are contracted. So 2 deputy sheriffs each shift, community resource deputy, 2 detectives, 2 records techs. Those are funded in that contract. If that contract goes away, all of those FTE go away, because the county does not automatically fill in the budget. We're not serving that area anymore.
Where do they go?
If there's vacancies in the organization or other contracts that people have been asking us to explore, then we will hopefully be able to assign them to either an existing or a new contract, or if I'm able to advocate for positions in areas as the civil unit, which is seeing an increased workload, or in our far east and west of our county that serves 1 car all the way from Troutdale far east, and from Sauvie Island to Dunthorpe, 1 car each shift, minus your community resource deputy. So we'll be advocating for other positions as we move into the next budget cycle, even though I believe we'll be in a constraint year. But that will be a challenge, and that's the other reason we're monitoring staffing closely. I also recognize how challenging that will be, given a multitude of reasons with respect to starting from the ground up. And the hiring and recruiting environment right now is extremely challenging, and we've been very successful. And I don't know that we can say that across the state or the nation, but that has not been an easy feat. We've put a lot of work into being able to be an agency that people want to come and work for. So we could see our staffing levels come up, give our folks a little bit of break from the overtime, and be able to engage even more in our community and community engagement efforts.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody else? Okay, as for myself, I want to thank you for coming in and presenting with us. I know I've had a couple of opportunities to meet with you, but I appreciate committee council as a whole. I also want to thank you for the services that you provide. Thinking back to Memorial Day weekend and the chaos that ensued. Captain Huckle, we shared a little bit, we had 5 minutes together in the chaos. I appreciate everything that you do for our communities. I truly do. I want to highlight one that will always be near and dear to my heart as much as I advocated for keeping the Hope team with the county, as much as I wanted to keep that going. I do see a value in it. Probably maybe half a tick higher is the school resource officer. Having a child go through who was in Reynolds at the time of the shooting, and knowing what at the school resource deputy or officer did at the time, and how that limited what could have been a very disastrous day to just a disastrous day. I do appreciate that it's still a priority. Even though my kids are gone out of school, it doesn't matter. That's an area that is particularly vulnerable, so I appreciate it. And I do appreciate the work you do in our community to not only engage, but to be proactive in seeing what's going on. And I said it a meeting ago, and I'll say it again, the ride-alongs are fantastic because then we get to see what you do. And you get to talk to us one-on-one, which is nice as well. So appreciate that too.
On my list of things that I need to do.
I'm encouraging everybody. I could tell you at least one other local mayor has done it as well. So yeah, it's a great thing. I think we're good. Thank you so much.
Appreciate the opportunity again.
But 5
Some
hours.
questions down the road.
We're a few hours ahead of your meeting last night. We're not going through the same hoops. It's not fair. Not fair. Good to see you too.
Thank you.
You know, when I went for my first ride-along, I rode with Officer Farmer.
Oh, yes.
And
Yep.
I don't know whether he still works for you guys, but the night that I rode with him, there was a shooting down by my house. And I was in Portland.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. All right, next, the consent agenda is we're going to take item D off of the consent agenda and place it on.
And we're not supposed to discuss consent, so I apologize because I wasn't here during the last meeting when you all discussed this, or did not discuss this.
Yeah.
There's one thing in C. Basically, it says that we'll pay Troutdale approximately $250 every quarter for them to administer the program. But nowhere in the contract does it actually say that. So the finance director at Troutdale could wake up one morning and decide that it's going to be $10,000 a year. Don't get too excited. And so I'm concerned that this, as somebody pointed out at one of the meetings, doesn't have any teeth. It's not like there's a rigid number in there. It's kind of like, well, it could be this or it could be this. And I kind of have a problem with that. I want it to be $250 a quarter for the next 5 years, and then we can renegotiate. I don't want it to be whatever the finance director in the great city of Troutdale decides he wants to do. So is there any way we can change this, pull it off, not vote on it? Or is it?
Consent agenda item, I'm going to defer to the city manager on this.
The commitment of the city manager was $250 a quarter. So, I mean, I think it's already been approved that way in the other cities, but.
And that's fine, because I know where they live. You shouldn't say that when the police are.
Wow.
I can certainly discuss, it. Maybe I can, if
Or,
you approve it with that, then I can put it in the contract.
okay, I mean, I don't have a problem approving it that way. And then we're pulling D off for more discussion.
Yes, D is going to go into a de facto cancel.
So you're also gonna need to pull C if you're going to make,
Okay,
that amendment, if you're gonna add that clarifying language in your motion,
okay.
just, yeah.
So the next item is the council agenda with removal of items C and D. Do we have a motion?
A motion to approve the consent agenda, removing items C and D for further discussion.
Second.
All right, we have motion and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Let's go ahead and go to item C, authorize city manager to execute intergovernmental agreement. I think what it needs to be said has been said. Do you want us to restate it for the record?
Oh, it's fine. I think just adding in the motion as our city recorder said.
Okay.
So you can say something like you're moving to approve resolution 2726 with the language that the payment is $250 per quarter for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
That's just the number that came up.
Okay.
It's removing the word approximately.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, then you can do that, just strike root it, yeah.
Make a motion to approve resolution 272026 with the corrections mentioned, firming up to $250 per quarter as $250 per quarter.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes.
There you go, Julie.
Item D, authorize city manager to execute a IGA with City of Portland. There has been, this was a request of a counselor. Do you have any issues, questions,
Well, yeah,
concerns?
I'm tired of giving larger cities all of our money. If you sit down and you actually start looking at the figures, the dollar amounts, right? And it's really, really difficult to get hard, concrete numbers out of the city of Portland that don't seem to fluctuate depending upon who in the accounting department's decided to fidget with the numbers. But let's take the, is this PEG fees or franchise fees? Because they keep using the terms interchangeably and they are not interchangeable. But if I start to look at the math of this, basically what happens is we're going to give the city of Troutdale $1,000 when we used to give the city of Portland several tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can actually find that number. And then we're going to turn around and have the city of Portland administer the last of the grants. There's 30 grants to the tune of about $10,000 a month. And we're going to wind up with $500 in franchise fees. And I just can't buy that. I'm done with Portland. I'm done with Portland and the whole MHCRC. They have been hosing us for years. Case in point, we had I actually didn't attend until the very last part of it, but they had a program out at Metro East to recognize all of the people throughout the 30 years of this organization, of which there were no fewer than 5 employees from the city of Portland taking a half a day to do that, of which 3 of them were lawyers. So you can imagine what that FTE was. And I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of giving Portland more damn money for them. It's like, look, we've approved all of these 30 grants. Just write the checks and be done. Because as far as I know, in the last, 7 or 8 years that I've been part of the MHCRC, we've never once actually done a hard and fast audit of any of our grantees. Right or wrong? Sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but have we ever? No. We've never said, open the books, show us what you bought, show us what you spent the money on. Show us if you fudged whether this was training and you can use the money for that, or if this wasn't training and you really can't use the money for that. We've never done that, but I'm paying them $10,000 a month to supposedly do this. So that's why I'm looking at this. I don't know what the ramifications are if we just basically say, no, we're not signing it. They may say, well, we're not going to give you your PEG money that you've already built into the budget. I don't know. But I'm tired. I mean, literally, we're going to wind up with $1,000 or $1,500 at the end of the month. That's our 7,000 or 850 something Comcast subscribers. Or do I just go whatever?
Well, you've cast enough doubt in my mind that I don't feel comfortable approving it. So unless someone's got some compelling reason, then let's hear it.
Well, I don't have a compelling reason, but we could just give a little more information. First of all, just to go back to the contract with Troutdale, $1,000 annually, used to pay $12,314 for the same service. My understanding of what you're referring to on the Councilor Dennerlein on the number D here, that is all PEG money. So that's the community grants money. That's not our general franchise fee money coming in. So basically, originally what Portland wanted to do was actually have us pay them And we said, no, we being collectively the other cities in the county, and said, no, we don't want that. What we want you to do is if you're going to collect any fees, you take it out of the money you already have. So that's where that agreement's at. Ratification, not signing it, I am not 100% certain. I don't know what Portland will do. If you don't sign it, they're still going to administer the grants, whether they try to charge us, try to take it out of future money. To give an update to, I'm gonna put it in our weekly newsletter, but, not newsletter, email. But the county is working on, they responded back to me that they are working on doing this whole audit, all the money, and that they're gonna disperse the funds to us at the end of November, beginning of December. And that would be the 10.2 million that we know of last year, plus the 1.6 million. This, just our piece of it, not all of it. But, and then there were some other funds as well.
Is there still money left in community grants or community technology? I think, I don't, this whole.
I don't know. It's
Convoluted.
very, very convoluted. So we should be getting, they told me originally somewhere around 250,000. That's why Ann put it in the budget. But the idea of this contract is that they administer the grant and they take out of it what they need to administer it.
And it's basically an FTE down there. Because I have a tremendous amount of respect for her, but like I said, in however many years, they've never done a top to bottom audit of any of the grantees. But we're paying for it.
And I don't disagree with you. I'm just.
Yeah, I would be curious to see, a quick phone call to Eric saying, hey, dude, what happens? What are you going to do if we don't sign this?
I mean, if council wants to pull this one and delay it to the next meeting, I can get more information. Certainly, that's another option too.
I would like that.
Seems reasonable.
All right, sorry for ringing it on. I'm so tired of giving money to larger entities just because.
Yes. So just a motion to table, or what do you want to do?
I guess, yeah, it's a motion to
Table resolution 2026.
Yeah, to reevaluate this in 2 weeks. After.
You made the motion, I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There you go. We will revisit that at our next meeting. Not a problem.
You got yours.
All right, next is city manager director reports. We will start with NCSA. Because you haven't been up here enough tonight.
It's kind of having deja vu, it's like,
I feel like I've already been here. I get it.
All right, good evening, again, Mayor, Council. For the month of June, we did 106 traffic stops, 84 warnings, and 21 citations were issued. We had a total of 551 calls for service, 241 of which were dispatched, 310 were self-initiated. Our response time for emergency priority 1s and 2s was 4 minutes and 59 seconds. We had 16 cases referred to detectives. 6 of those were closed out, so 10 are still remain open. Our average time per call is 19 minutes and 53 seconds, which is consistent. Previous month was 20 minutes and 52 seconds. So we're maintaining right around that 20-ish, give or take a couple minutes time on each call. So what else we had? We only had one online report. Those numbers seem to be going pretty low, except for March was an outlier, but I think that's something that, I'm hoping that the community is aware of, our online reporting process. If people choose not to report it because they don't want to bother police or something, if it's a cold call, they can do it online and file a report, get a case number for online. So I'm hoping that that's a resource that they have out there. With that, I will take any questions.
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you for when the mayor went on his ride along, he texted me and said, I'm at your favorite stop sign. And I was like, I actually have a favorite. Oh, yes, I do have a favorite stop sign. So whenever you decide to go,
What sign is that?
that's the one on Park and Multnomah that everybody just blows through.
Should I share my story?
Go ahead.
By all means.
So, Sergeant White who you're familiar with, one of our superstars. He's extremely supportive of the city of Fairview and is basically taking the mission of solving the stop sign runners in the village.
Yes.
So I think it was yesterday or the day before, he did 2 hours within the village and had 11 traffic stops.
Beefy.
That's kind of with an asterisk because he followed a car through 3 stop signs before he initiated a traffic stop on it.
Did they at least get a ticket as opposed to a
So
warning?
he did issue 2 citations and he gave 1 warning. He then reset and about less than 5 minutes later, the same car drove back through another. So he was stopped again, kind of stuff. So it's just some of the driving behavior that we see. It's nonstop. I mean, the numbers that he does, he usually does 2 hours because there's a grant that he kind of follows. Are right around 11 traffic stops, give or take 1 nonstop. And it takes a good 10 to 15 minutes to do a traffic stop. So it's, by the time he resets and gets to his spot, another one is already by.
Yeah, I've watched when it was a previous deputy who took it upon himself, and he'd park in a particular place and all of that, and I would just sit there and watch.
Yeah.
It's like, there he is.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is while he's dealing with that, 3 more go blowing.
Right, and it's like, what can we do, yeah, but I mean, it's ironic that, and I think when he emailed me, he goes, this is the first in my career where he literally saw the car run 3 stop signs, stops it, gives him a warning on 1, and then resets, and then that same car drives right back through one of the same same stop signs again. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that, yes.
It's him, he's the one doing it, he's incredible.
Yes, would tend to agree. Let's go recreation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have 3 kind of segments I'll cover. The first segment is summer programming and meals. So far, our summer program continues to be strong, with a little bit less than half of our camps remaining. We are registered, we have 250 participants registered, so that's about the same number we had last year. Our free summer meal program has also seen great participation at our 2 pilot sites in Gresham. We have nearly served 1,000 meals, and we still have approximately 2.5 weeks remaining there. While at our main site, we nearly served 350 meals with about 4.5 weeks left for that. Expanding youth opportunities. Metro East was here, but we also partnered with them for some free media camps, and we successfully completed 2 of those. Through a grant that Metro East received, we are recipients of 9 iPads, and that's through a Comcast Lift grant that, again, they received. And we're kind of receiving those grants to expand their digital media opportunities for youth. So it provides us with tools to continue year-round programming, again, at no cost to us, so it's a win-win situation for the community here. Operations and events, we successfully filled the seasonal staffing vacancy with our new team members starting yesterday. They will oversee one of the Gresham sites and support that new site. Planning for Fairview Summerfest is in progress. We've been expanding our lineup of vendors, new attractions in the kids zone, performances, and additional demonstrations of our touch a truck. We are also working with the property owner from the property across the street that allows us to grow the event. The event is next Saturday, July 25th from 10 to 4. We hope to see you all there. I can answer any questions you guys may have.
Have you gotten the iPads from Metro East yet?
What's that?
Have you gotten the iPads from Metro
We
East?
did. We finally did get them, and then we're working with IT to kind of set those up in a manner that they can manage it, and it's an easy thing for us to.
Apples in
What's that?
I said apples in a Windows house. I know that goes.
Any other questions?
I just had a question.
Yes.
Yes, President. Hi, Rose, as relates to I attended a Parks Advisory Committee meeting here a few weeks ago, and I know there was some questions and uncertainty as far as their role as it relates to this particular festival. So what are they doing for this festival?
We have them slated as they are every year as a vendor with the booth. So that's kind of always been their role. So we have them, again, assign a booth and they'll be able to share. I think from that meeting, they talked about a map of the parks and some park information. So that's what they'll be doing this year as well. We also invited them for other volunteer opportunities that we'll be providing through just the city as arts and craft area, other community engagement opportunities as well. So they're more than welcome to participate in those as well.
And I have some follow-up questions, but I'll wait for Nathan on that. Thank you.
My only questions are, what kind of food's gonna be there for Summerfest?
So we have one of the vendors that was here last year, I believe they're called Barbecue Arteries, I believe.
Okay.
Something like that. A vendor that is returning from a few years ago, that they're bringing some Mexican cuisine. We're gonna have, there's a variety of vendors. I think this is the most food vendors we've had at the festival. So that's a good thing, and so it is a well mixed. So I know there's not a lot, there isn't kind of repeating things. Everyone will have something different to share.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
So sorry. So as far as, I know in some of the years, there's been some after party. Is there anything going on after the festival's over with?
Yes, so that's completely managed and coordinated by the food plaza operator. We've kind of moved towards and kind of just, we feel it's just the best thing to do is just to help cross promote. So they manage that whole coordination of that piece, and we manage the whole coordination of this piece, but we cross promote the event as well.
So is there any advertising or any, when you say promote, I mean, how is the city promoting that?
Through social media posts, they will have the beer garden here, and through the beer garden, we'll also do some promotion. We'll announce it through the event with our MC. So that's kind of how we're promoting it. So basically, whatever he's using through social media, that's how we're promoting it.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Community development.
Good evening, Mayor Kudrina and councilors. In community development with code enforcement, we've been really working to have connections with property owners that we're sending letters to with warnings of code violations. So we've been having some meetings. We had a couple of meetings and voluntary compliance agreements signed with an agreed upon deadline for some of these larger ongoing nuisance properties. So we're glad to be finding some success and establishing communication with the property owners that we can continue if any issues come up in the future, as sometimes happens after a case is resolved and then things kind of slip back into non-compliance. There was talk about the HOPE team, and just so you know, we've been doing a lot of communication the last couple of weeks. There have been some camps established in Indian John Park and Salish Ponds. So we've been communicating a lot with Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, as well as coordinating with the Peer Company, which is the county's contractor for doing outreach. And trying to connect houseless individuals with services, and then working with rapid response or other cleanup agencies in terms of posting the site for cleanup, and then getting estimates and getting the sites. You know, as the sheriff's office talked about, the services are still there. They just look a little bit different, and the process looks a little bit different now. And you may have noticed the northwest corner of Fairview Parkway in Halsey was cleared recently, and we are just, if it didn't happen today, all of the remaining sort of piles of brush and a little bit of remaining trash should get picked up. So trying to remove fire hazard in the summer, and kind of keep that more clear and open to prevent camps from establishing. Coming up on July 27th, staff from Fairview, Troutdale, Wood Village, Gresham, and the Port are going on a tour, a driving tour of East County with Business Oregon and Greater Portland, Inc. So we're going to be working to plan out our route and what we, sort of want to highlight for them. If there's any ideas, please let me know. But just looking forward to continuing the collaboration with East County economic development staff and those regional and state agencies to support more business growth and investment. And then the next day, Planning Commission will meet on the 28th. They're having a public hearing on a zone change to remove a storefront district designation. So that will be coming to council either in August and September, or the first meetings in September. And we're also working to set up, hopefully someone from the Department of Land Conservation and Development to come and speak with the Planning Commission about the many changes that have been happening with legislation and rulemaking, particularly around housing. And I may have mentioned this before, but one of the changes is as of July 1st, development of housing, which must be reviewed only against clear, objective criteria, cannot have a public hearing, and appeals are limited to the applicant. So we're just trying to kind of navigate that, and there are also some other rules that have different processes established, and sometimes you have multiple different processes applying to the same application. So we are just kind of working to clarify that, get a better understanding, and communicate with applicants as we receive new land use requests. So that's the update for community development, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I just had two things. Number one, the group that you have, that you're doing a tour, I would advise to maybe pick a different route than that would take them under the graffiti bridge. That is still graffitied up. It's probably not one of our better selling points in the city of Fairview. So I'm still hoping that that's on the short list of getting handled soon. Just a comment, no comment from you necessary. And then are you aware of any new commercial development or any new commercial leases or anything that's happened with all of the commercial space that we have within the city in the last 30 days?
No, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. Public Works.
Hello, Mayor and Council, good to see you. And I'll start off with the Parks and Storm group, along with all the routine mowing, irrigation repairs, filing line, hanging basket maintenance, and garbage collection. Some of the highlighted projects since we last spoke, they've been, the 4th of July happened, so there's quite a big split that happened, and I'm happy to say that crews got out right away on that Monday and got things cleaned up very expediently. They've been doing a lot of short bed maintenance and pruning. They've also been working quite a bit in the stormwater detention facilities, utilizing the 2 seasons that we have. They're doing a great job in this. Also, one of the accomplishments we've gotten done was a playground inspection for all of our sites. And we hired a contractor to come in and look, and the overall condition was very good. There were some minor needs for, I'm gonna say all but one. Andy Park is needed being replaced, so that's something we'll discuss in the future. It's showing its age. It has to do with rust on the crossbars from the swings and some of the S-hooks that really aren't supposed to be used anymore, things like that. So we're in the process of potentially pulling that playground out. But we're also looking at maybe alternatives to keep it in play until we can get something on the books to does need to be addressed, so we're working through that. But everything else is pressure washing, bolts replaced, some minor painting and things, and the crews are working on that right now. We also need to install some signs that basically tell you what age bracket the cart path is intended for. So crews are working on that as we speak over the past couple of weeks and then through the summer. On the utility street side, along with all the routine water parameter sampling and water production, it's going very well for the summer. Although we have had some fuse blow at well sites, which has been kind of interesting. We also had a fuse blow that put the interlocking lift station out of service for a while. But we were able to get it repaired within time frame, so that was good. But they've been doing a really good job taking care of routine needs. Some of the highlights, the Fairview Lake Pump Station, lift station check valve has been cleaned, which is good. We were able to install new pressure level transducer at the Halsey reservoirs. So now we have a redundant backup, which is good for reservoir levels. We checked for some leaks at Oklahoma Road, Rose Lane and Sandy Boulevard. Everything turned out good there. We have been doing a lot of sampling for annual SOC and VOC, which is synthetic volatile organic compounds. It's a state regulatory. We do that annually for our source water. And we've been doing a lot of repairs on our chemical feed pumps, as well as we've got the new chemical feed pumps for chlorine injection purchased, and we're gathering parts since they are back order to get them installed as soon as we can. So we're working on that project as well. The consumer confidence report was finished and is available, I believe, on the website. That's also something that will be handed out at Summerfest. We don't mail out hard copies, but you'll be able to get a hard copy at Summerfest. Otherwise, I do believe you'll see a link on your utility bill that you can punch in and it'll take you right to the consumer confidence report. It's different this year. We've changed the formatting and kind of made it more appealing to read. So it's a little different, but the content is all there that's needed, and it's a good product. I'm very happy with it. We've also been assisting utility billing as normal, and also preparing for lead and copper sampling needs to happen, which we partner with homes in the area. We've sent out letters to make sure that we can get those partnerships and get our sampling done. So that's in the works. From engineering, the engineer tech has sent in documents to get reimbursements for CDBG work that was done last year, so that's been going well. He's also working very diligently on our NDPDS permit, which has to do with stormwater. That needs to be re-upped for another 6 years. It's a pretty big project, but we're just about completed with it. He's been reviewing a couple of different permits for demo work at Quail Hollow for some of those mobile homes down there, a couple of them. And we're starting to compile data through our Street Saver software to look at any sort of roads that need slurry seal and crack seal for the upcoming year. So we're still working on that too. Project management wise, the well has started back up. The screens were delivered. You'll see them. They're out setting the screens this week. They should be done by the end of the week. Got some pictures I can show you. Basically stainless steel. Really nice, actually. I don't know, there's probably 100 feet of that they'll have installed. Once that's done, they'll be conditioning the well for the next 2 weeks, which means they'll be pumping out any sort of material that's in there that they use for drilling and getting that all out. It takes about a 2-week time for it because they can't dispose of that. They gotta truck it all off somewhere else. So, that's the next step there, and they're still working on an issue with the generator for the building. I'll have that resolved here soon so we can start putting the building together. But work is resumed out there, so it's going well. Project management also, Received notification from the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality that its update of the waste prevention outreach plan has been approved. So that's good. The update will mean that all cities' waste prevention webpage is reduced to use recycled brochure, which is already accomplished. So that's a good thing. And then we disposed of 67 items and we're able to generate $1,800 worth of surplus items to put back into kitty here, I guess. So that's what I have for the report. So you guys have any questions for me?
Any questions for staff?
Sure sounds like you guys haven't been doing too much.
No.
Question, if you had a crystal ball, when's the first drop of drinkable water gonna come out of that new well?
Boy, I can't remember the end date, but it should be, well, it's gonna be 2027, probably spring.
Spring?
Yeah, some sooner, but early spring, I want to say.
I'm just trying to get the mayor's stuff on his schedule for some big festivities down there.
Ribbon cutting, baby. Heck, yeah, let's do it.
Crack the tap.
Crack the tab. Just two things for me, there are more comments. One, we did have a public meeting there in the public, in the warehouse, in the shop there. You guys keep it so clean. I mean, seriously, it was outside of the heat, which you can't do anything about. You know, we had some fans for a while, but it became too loud. But good night, you guys keep it well clean, very well maintained. I just want to thank you for that investment that the community is making every month on their utility bills. It's confident to say that they could walk in and know that you're taking care of that investment, and I appreciate that. And just from a personal side, had a fun anecdote. You had some crews in my neighborhood doing some sewer locates. And the next thing I hear, because I work from home, with my window's open, hey, you might want to make sure you're not swearing too loudly or eating on the job. The mayor, you're in the mayor's neighborhood. I look out, and then they're pointing at my house, and so of course I go to the window. Yeah, I'm right here. I can hear you. But no, they're doing a good job. They are trying to find holes in our mapping and to figure out what's going where, and that's good. It's embarrassing to know that those holes are there, but I get it. Things happen. They don't always. A lot of times people go nine of the 10 steps, and that 10th step is kind of critical. And unfortunately, when that happens, you have to go back and start all over. And the guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. And your comment about the shop, that is all voted to approve. They do appreciate the facility and they do take care of that. And I'll say they take very good care of the equipment too. So
Yeah.
being new,
Oh,
I reckon.
trucks are clean and the equipment is clean. I'm looking at, a riding lawnmower that I know was used that day. Couldn't tell.
Yeah. Yeah, they appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll spread the word. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Finance.
Good evening, Council and Mr. Mayor. Finance is busy being finance. Continuing on with the audits, our next audit we had hoped was going to be presented in August, but the auditors are starting their field work with other clients that month, so we have pushed it into September. Not a huge delay, but it is a little bit later. With the new year comes a lot of different things for particularly payroll. And this payroll for this week, they had to process all of the COLAs and get everybody scheduled on those new rates. So it was a little bit of activity for Leslie and Tricia getting payroll out this week, but it's done and thankful for that. Other than that, we're just working on moving on. And we are busy in the middle of our next audit, getting all those documents to the auditors, and that's about it.
So a 1 month delay in the third audit in the last year.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid. Fourth audit. Fourth audit.
It's not,
Yeah, I'm not worried.
it's not keeping us from moving on.
It's just the presentation part of it is going to be delayed a little bit, so.
Which year is this? Is this 24, 25?
No, it's 23, 24. And we're
Optimistic, sorry.
knee deep into 24, 25 already, getting the work papers done and everything. So I'm cautiously optimistic by the end of this year, calendar year, beginning of next January, maybe we can get the next one presented. And that light at the end of the tunnel is getting bigger.
That's just impressive to me.
So
Yep. Thank you. Any questions from council to staff? Thank you very much. HR City Recorder.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. So for my departments, it's primarily just been operational type functions for IT, assisting staff with issues, including getting the rec department iPads set up and ready to go. And things like this morning, she jumped in and our doors were not unlocking at City Hall, so she jumped in and troubleshoot that and got our doors working again.
It could be a problem.
On the recorder side, processing routine public records requests, archiving documents. I've been doing updates because the state issued a new retention schedule for the cities. So making sure that we're in line with that. We are going to have a municipal code website refresh. So when you go to our website and you click on our municipal code, it's gonna look different. It's not up yet, it's coming. A whole new format, new tools. They say it's gonna be a lot easier to navigate and do things. The directors have a training, an introduction and training, if you will, next week, and then I will expand that to staff as needed. And I think it will be probably live in about 2 weeks. So, on the HR side, it's just been, personnel issues and recruitment. We are recruiting for an accounting clerk 1 to replace one of our staff that will be leaving soon, and preparing for the economic development specialist and GIS recruitment for those 2 big positions, or key positions, I should say, so. And with that, that's it, if you have any questions.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just wanted to say that our department heads and team have been working very well together and working really hard and a lot of. What I wanted to talk about briefly tonight is gearing up for having citizen requests. We've already had many, but asking about the public safety fee. So first of all, I want to say that internally we are preparing some information for our departments, for all of our employees actually, and try to get everyone as educated as possible. We had our all staff meeting. I talked about that. I talked about our budget. I went over the same presentation with all of our staff right here in this room as we've been doing with our community. So they'll have information, they'll be able to provide that, basically to channel everyone to the finance department if they're not able to answer it. And then the tough ones, they can all be tough, but the ones that just refuse or need additional information, they can refer to me and I'll talk to them, I'll call them back, or I'll set up a meeting with them. So we've had the first 2 neighborhood meetings, and I think they've been a really good start. Our first one was about 8 people attended, and our second one was about 7 people attended as far as the actual community. We also had Councilor Weber, Councilor Dennerlein, and the mayor attend the first one. The mayor was able to attend the second one. We had 3 members of our budget committee attend the first one, which is Eric Mueller, Adam Bird, and then also Kevin Kelly, also in the budget committee, attended the first one. And then the second one, Adam and Eric again attended. Sorry, I almost forgot, didn't forget. Also our finance director, Ann Baker, has been at all those. We have one more coming up next week, Belfry Park. We're still trying to work on getting one with Fairview, Oaks and Woods. We've had some difficulty reaching the management, but we finally got a response back from the Portland Housing Authority, which is, so we're still trying to schedule that with them and see if they'll permit us, because it is private property. We can't just go in there and hold one. Also, we have a request to the mayor and I to go down, and Ann will be there as well. We're going to go down and meet with Quail Hall. one of their Friday mornings when they have a little get together, and we're gonna go talk with them. And we actually had some of the residents show up this last one. So that is what's going on, and we're getting ready for that and be able to provide the information. I will say that in both cases, the people were not very happy when they first arrived, but at the end, in both cases, they did thank us for letting them know what's going on, for being transparent. And I wanted to say, as I always say, that I appreciate having a professional council that's trying to really understand and do the best for our community. So, unless you have any questions, that's all I have.
The 21st is Pelfrey Park?
Yes, yeah, I think, is it?
We have Monday and Tuesday next week.
I have, so Monday is Pelfrey Park.
Monday.
And then Tuesday, I tentatively scheduled for Oaks and Fairview Oaks and Woods, but we haven't confirmed that. It may not be that day. It could be a different day, but I will let the council know in case you, and the budget committee, if you want to come to that one as well.
So Monday is Pelfrey Park.
Monday is Pelfrey Park, correct, 6 o'clock.
What time is the Pelfrey Park? 6?
6 o'clock. Yep. Be great to have your support there.
Excellent. Let's see. Pardon?
Do you want me to flip the switch or we just?
What's that? Go ahead. Any questions? Yes.
This is gonna sound snarky. Imagine that. So thank you for pointing out that the city had left up the PVC pipes, which are in violation of our code. They're temporary. They're not supposed to be there year round. My next thing would be, does the city own a level? Because they're all just cattywampously cockeyed and it just looks bush league. I would, to be fair, and this is something we bring up in a work session, not that we have any money for it or anything, I would be fine with putting up actual wood sign holders and I think all of those places, probably not the one on the Parkway because it blocks the Welcome to Fairview sign. Maybe put it behind that or on the median or something, but I think the rest of them, I'm okay. But the PVC looks, it's tacky. It's like, hey, we're in a garage sale. And I would love to explore putting up a nice, 4x4, 6x6 capped, keeping with the look of the village, the look of even Wood Village, how they look, instead of these PVC signs that had your 12-year-old kid go out and he didn't know what a level was, so.
Well, I appreciate that. I want you to know Silas and I have talked about that and we appreciate the feedbacks. We're trying to figure out what's best. One of the issues we had was I want to just, put something in each time, but then it requires you have to check, you have to either locate or check and make sure there's no utilities in the ground, sprinkler pipes or whatever. So we are working on, we're looking at some different options. He did pull on, which I appreciate, and we'll try to figure out. And I agree, they need to look nice. I used to oversee a very large size of garage. I didn't oversee it, but I oversaw the sign portion of it. And we had it very nice put together, and we can do something. So I do appreciate the feedback.
And at the risk of angering the mayor, our code does not, while our code allows very small electronic signs, I could see where these signs being electronic could be a good thing, although I understand the headache of getting power to them and all that. But, maybe the one by City Hall is electronic. We make an exception for that because it's right here and it's constantly changing. But I appreciate the fact.
And I like the idea that we'll take a look. They have the old fashioned reader boards, they just flip down,
Go up with the letters. Yeah.
Yeah, the letters.
Thank you. Now we're down to.
I just had one.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure where to.
I apologize.
No worries. I'm just not sure where to bring this up. So I attended the Parks Advisory Committee meeting a few weeks ago, and there was definitely some areas that had not been communicated to the group as it relates to the upcoming festival. And it looks like we got beyond that time. I sent an email to the mayor and we're able to at least, get this volunteer group set up to attend the festival and have their table and provide information to the city like they have for a number of years. My question is, what, at least from what you know now, Nathan, or what your plan is now, is that going to be able to be an ongoing event or an area that they're going to be able to participate in? Because it wasn't clear to me via some emails, because originally when I saw the email, my interpretation is they weren't going to do it. And then through some other communication back and forth, there was a change that allowed them to do it this time. But I'm just trying to understand what the future holds.
Well, I appreciate the question. So let me give a little history on it. I know I've sent some emails, and I'm sorry if you're confused. Always feel free to reach out to me if you're confused any of my emails, because as you know, sometimes writing cannot be the best instrument. Sometimes it's best to talk in person. But so at probably, I don't know if it was somewhere around the beginning of the year, at least, as we were talking about doing the putting on the Summer Fest, we sat down as a leadership team, all the department heads, and we talked about the past events. We talked about a lot of feedback received in the community, feedback from both the vendors, feedback from residents, feedback from staff. And one of the things that came up is that the tables that were staffed, or tables that were I'm just gonna be really upfront about this, by the committees, were not participating. They weren't doing much for the community, and a lot of people were asking, why are these having here? So with the discussions that we had, especially the recreation department with the community, the idea was we decided that we would do away with those tables. And so, and I apologize for my confusion as well. And so the idea was to talk to each one of those committees, and I wanted to do it in person. We didn't want to do it just through email. So I went to PSAC. We met with PSAC way back in like February. And I talked to PSAC, and they were understanding. And the intent was for also to talk to the PrAC committee. Unfortunately, because of a series of events where we had 3 different department heads, and then we had different, not me, but we had vacations, we had just different things, and working with our chair, Bob Dolphin, we were not able to hold that meeting until beginning of July or somewhere, not July, in June, whenever it was. It wasn't that long ago, it was a few weeks ago. And so at that meeting, I was trying to explain to that about what, the direction we're going in. Yes, there were several people that were very disappointed, and I understand that. And so as we talked again, I sat down our leadership team and we went over it again, and we decided that at this case, because they had already said that they had purchased things and they were preparing for it, unbeknownst to me, which is fine. I mean, I'm glad that they want to participate. Then we decided as a department heads, and of course, ultimately, my decision, that we would go ahead and have the tables this year. So the intent is not to have them next year. Can we always evaluate? Absolutely, we can evaluate. I did hear feedback that in the past, and I'll just be really upfront, that the tables were not well received by a lot of the community because they weren't engaging with anybody. In fact, last year, the PrAC table, all they did was pass out candy the city provided. We also had a lot of issues, something I didn't even know, but we had a lot of issues with our only vendors that didn't actually obey the city rules were the committees. And so that was a real problem with Public Works, something I didn't even know, has never been brought to my attention until recently, but they refused to follow the rules. And so we need to have good representatives of the city. We want to have a good event. As the recreation department has put a lot of work in this event. As you know, I created the recreation department and moved the events over so we can have full-time planning and working, and we didn't have to have our city recorder working a part-time job in the evening, trying to do all that. So trying to build a good community and a stronger community, one of the things that the recreation department has done is reach out to the property owner of this property. He's been great to work with. He's willing to let us use his land. So we're trying to move forward with building a bigger and brighter future with the Summer Fest.
Okay, so as the festival occurs and there are volunteers there, I think what I heard you say is that you were at least willing to evaluate the future.
Always willing to evaluate.
Depending on how things go. So is the city of Fairview going to have some tables set up that are going to be informational of sorts?
We have some department tables, yes. We have some different demonstrations.
Manning those?
Who will? The departments will be.
So paid staff will be manning tables that are 100% sharing city information.
No, we have department heads manning those tables. I believe.
Aren't city
Yeah.
heads or employees, aren't they?
They're employees, but they're not paid extra to man those tables. Just like I'm not paid extra to go out and talk about the budget.
Okay, we don't even want to get into that debate right now. Okay. Got it, thanks.
No, I'm just making point exempt employees aren't, we don't.
I understand that, but I've heard that term before in an email as it relates to doing work after hours as an exempt employee and referring to it like the person's not being compensated. And the reality is it's an exempt employee and they are being compensated.
Right, they're being compensated, they're not being compensated extra.
Maybe it's just I'm misreading it or I'm not hearing it correctly.
I'm not sure what you mean then, because,
Twice now, so.
well, I don't understand what you're referring to, because they are not compensated extra. In other words, they're not being paid overtime or additional funding. They're paid to do a job, and that happens to be part of the job. If that helps, is that better?
Sure. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
One of the things I do know, or I don't know, what I've been told in the past events like this is there's at least one of our departments that is required to do public outreach at least 1 to 2 times a year, and they utilize this festival as a very convenient as one of them. So I know that or what I've been told is that helps help us to adhere to some requirements that are made.
Yeah, and that may be the case for Public Works, because we have, I think, one employee who'll be there doing some outreach. We have different programs, so.
Sorry, we'll have more public works employees because they set it up.
Yeah.
They do the entire setup, so they'll be here and monitoring it and taking care of garbage throughout the whole day, so.
Yeah, the operations manager is exempt, but the rest are not.
Anything else? Okay.
Does that answer your questions, Councilor Owen?
You did.
Okay, let's go to council reports. We will start at this end. Councilor Marker.
Well, now that you've heard that side of the story, now you get to hear mine. A couple of years ago, when we had the Kids Free Fishing Day, I, with Miss Santoro there, by the way, approached the dais and bring your paperwork up here. Please.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Put my glasses on, so.
Need to have a record. Need to have a copy for the record.
It's for everybody here. I have no idea.
I'll get it from one of them.
Sorry, Deputy.
It's okay, it's okay.
Apologize.
I'll get a copy for it.
So, first of all, I couldn't be at the meeting. I fell and I hurt myself and I couldn't get up off the floor. Our man, Mr. Owen over here, called the guy from the Fork, and he came and helped me up onto my couch. So I couldn't go to the meeting. The last Kids Free Fishing Day we had a lot of kids that turned around and showed up. And evidently, wasn't there a thing that we did it with Head Start kids? Right. So we did that with the Head Start kids, and it was a really good turnout, okay? And we actually had the tables up where we go fishing, okay? They weren't in the courtyard where City Hall is, okay? They were up there. So after it was over with, little unbeknownst to you, my wife and I put all the tables and chairs away in the trailer. So that way we didn't use staff time. Now, see, it makes me mad.
You don't, Marker.
No, yes, I do.
Oh, you don't.
Because, okay, I'll tell you. You turned around and said some bad stuff about Miss Santoro over there, and I didn't like it. Your job as a city manager is just like my job is as a city councilor. If somebody's sitting out there and they don't like something I said, I have to sit here and suck it up, just like you do. You guys sit there and suck it up just like we all.
Lower your voice.
Please.
We don't need this. Lower your voice and speak respectfully, please.
I was speaking of.
No, you raised your
When he
voice.
started lying, that's when he.
No. Continue.
Anyway, after that, we decided to have another kids-free fishing day. There was a lot of kids out there. I was there, watched the kids catch fish. The police was there, okay, and everything went very, very well. Then all of a sudden, at this deal here that you guys got going on, Iro turned around and said, well, I've spoken to leadership. Well, what am I? Aren't I a leader? Why did he speak to somebody else and not turn around and talk to me? And in your previous comment, when you turned around and said that you spoke with different groups and stuff like that, not one time did you turn around and say, I spoke with the counselor liaison. You did not. And this is probably on tape. Okay? So if you don't want me to do this, if you don't want me to be on the PrAC, tell me right now, and I will not ever come back to the PrAC again. Matter of fact, I'm really close to just turn around and walking out the door and say, you all have a nice night and not come back. Because I don't deserve to be treated this way. I don't deserve to be lied about. I've done a lot of stuff for this city, a lot. That food pantry up there is something that I did. I took a family that was out in 116-degree heat that had no place to go, and I got them a room at the Pony Soldier Inn. So that way, they didn't have to turn around and burn up in their tent that they were in. I've done a lot for this city, and those folks that were here earlier from Multnomah County Sheriff, they know. They know. My name is a household name when it comes to the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. I don't play. I come and do the job, get it done, and everybody's happy. I don't like being lied about. That's one thing I don't like, because I'm a God-fearing man, I'm a Christian, and I don't play that way. And I'm sorry for getting upset. I'm sure you guys would probably turn around and get upset too if you felt that you were being disparaged against by somebody who is not telling the truth about what you've done here for the city. So, Hiro and I had a very terse conversation with him. I didn't even know he was a member of the staff until I found out. But yeah, we had a very heated conversation. Okay, and I didn't like the way he talked to me, and evidently he didn't like the way that I talked to him. My problem is I feel that him working here is a conflict of interest. Now, it may not be, I don't know for sure, because I haven't turned around and checked it out, but he's the mayor of Wood Village. He's also on the staff here at Fairview, okay? So I don't know how that works, on how he can be a member of the staff and also be the mayor of Wood Village at the same time. I have no clue about that, but it's just something I turned around and thought about.
He wouldn't be the first.
What's that?
He wouldn't be the first. Our former public works manager was the then mayor of Troutdale.
Right, I remember that. I'm willing to work and do whatever y'all want to do, but I'm not going to turn around and be treated like this at our PrAC meeting. Now I don't even know what to do, to be truthful and honest with you. I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do. If you don't want me, that's good, I'll go. If you do, just tell me what you want.
Counselor Marker, first of all, I have no problem with being on practice. I've never said anything like that. I've never made any kind of suggestion to anybody, nor have I even thought about it. And you called me and we had a private conversation on the phone where, again, I reiterated, I don't mind it, you're on practice, nothing to do with it. the liaison for PrAC is not part of the PrAC committee, they're part of the liaison and report to the council. And second of all, I want to mention, I have not lied. And the fact that you're putting on public record saying I'm lying is a very serious matter. To accuse me of.
It is, I consider it very serious, and I'll turn around, if you wanted to turn around and sit here all night long, we can turn around and talk about it.
I have not lied in any way.
And I've not, you never turned around and told me to call you about any of this. I never got anything, and that's other stuff that you do, okay? You don't turn around and return people's phone calls, okay?
I do.
One council president, ask him.
I return his phone calls.
That's not what he
I've
said.
even gone down a couple times to the Fork and met with him.
That's not what he said.
About Ann Baker. So accusing me of lying in a public meeting is very serious.
Well, what are you gonna do? You gonna fire me? You gonna fire me right now?
But let me tell you,
You can't fire me, he can.
I'm not gonna fire anybody.
Nobody up here can.
You know something very important about your rule. If you don't follow your rule
I do follow my rule.
and there's legal action, CIS will not protect you. I'm just letting you know.
I have done what people turned around and asked me to do.
I haven't accused you of anything. Your example regarding that's wonderful, you were able to help put away things for I guess it was a fishing event. That had nothing to do with the Summerfest. That has nothing to do with the Summerfest at all. So I don't know how you even brought that into conversation.
Because it's stuff that I've done in the past that had to do with the PrAC. And I got no direction from you as to what my role was in PrAC when you turned around and did this.
So at this point, this feels like a much deeper conversation.
Yes, sir.
And I think it would behoove everybody as to have that offline.
Okay.
Not in a public meeting.
That's fine.
Is there anything else you wish to bring up?
No?
Okay, thank you very much. So, gentlemen.
Since I'm no longer, MHCRC doesn't exist, I don't have a purpose. I have no assignments. Careful.
I'm fighting a 70s movie line here. I don't have a purpose. Okay, anyway, moving on. Council President O'Neill.
Well, I did my part to put you out of a job because I canceled my part of that. Comcast, yeah.
Get rid of Comcast, all right.
I did it just for you. Thank you. No, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Nothing to report. Similar to me, it's been quiet. The things that I would have mentioned have already been mentioned. I want to thank the people that have come out to the 2 public meetings we've had. As long as we can schedule that 4th for Fairwoods and Oaks, that would be good. But let's go ahead and get those going as well. And yeah, otherwise it's been pretty quiet. East County Fire Services did have their meeting a couple weeks ago where we did. I think we have a end date, a targeted end date of this later on this summer of when that committee is going to end, when we will bring back recommendations back to respective councils. My hopes at that point is that we have another large meeting with the council so we can discuss, but we'll have at least, I think we're looking at an end to this. I think what we're doing right now is trying to get down to metrics of what things look like, would look like. So I think everybody's on the same page as far as an extra fire station is needed. It's just a question of what that looks like. If Gresham is involved, will there be a second additional fire station? What does that look like? But as far as the 3 cities are concerned, we'd only be looking at the 1. That is it for me. And we do have one citizen wishing to come up and speak on a non-agenda item. Marcia, if you want to go ahead and come up. And for the record, state your name and city of address. Yes.
Hi, my name is Marceline Warren, with Fairview. Good evening, Mayor Keith, I'm Mayor.
Mayor's fine.
And Councilman. First off, I'm going to ask Nathan here
I want to know what rules we broke, because we did not break any rules last year. The city did not give us the candy. We bought the candy and the snacks ourselves. All the city gave us last year was a table, a tent, and 2 chairs. And we borrowed decorations from a committee next to us. We did not break any rules. Please tell me which rules we broke.
My understanding was simply, I don't know what simply, but some of the things I know of was putting away the tents, putting things where they were supposed to be. I don't know all the details, I wasn't there, but staff did report to me there were a lot of things that were a problem.
And you're sure it was our committee? Because I was there till the end, and we were putting our stuff, we asked where our stuff needed to go.
Well, there were only 2 committees, but I'm not here to debate about that. I've already provided the information.
I still would like you to tell us which rules we broke. You need to find out which rules we broke, because we did not break any rules. You are wrong in that. The second thing, you did lie, all right? You did lie. And I'm gonna tell you where you lied. I did not vehemently exclaim that I wanted nothing to do with the city of Fairview and with Pratt only.
Actually, no, I watched the video and that's exactly what you said.
No, I said.
That's exactly what you said. We can get the video back up, and that's exactly what you said. You said, for the record, you were a unicorn and a goddess that only wanted to worry about Prac. So don't, we can pull the video up and see that.
Anything with Fairview, because I love
Well,
the city.
okay, it's tiny semantics, but you made it clear that you were concerned about Prac and not the city. That's what I saw.
But I did not say that I didn't want anything to do with Fairview. I love the city of Fairview. I always have, and I do a lot for this city. I'm a tenant leader in this city. I've also been I actually was there for the inception of the pantry here in Fairview, and I delivered for the city, for that pantry for over 2 years. I worked in it for over 2 years. I've been in 2 committees here, so I never said that I didn't want anything to do with Fairview, okay? I did not, and it made it sound like I was insinuating it, but I wasn't. What my issue is that he's trying to make all of the committees under one bubble, and that's exactly what I said. We were all used to be we used to all be unique committees. And that's what I really liked about Fairview, is we all had these all nice, unique committees. And now we're being all put under one bubble, instead of all these nice little committees that are serving the city of Fairview.
Also, just so everybody knows, Bob Dolphin was quizzed on this, and he chose not to give a comment.
This city means more to me than you will know. I've also run for city council, and I plan running again.
You don't need to go
I love this
on and on
city.
and on. We get the gist.
So I did not definitely say I didn't want to be in Fairview. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. All right, is there anything else for the good of the order?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, with motion and second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion approved. These are for Summerfest, or you guys leave.
You use these cumulatively?
Unfortunately, no, one at a time is what I've been told.
Are you gonna go to the first?
Huh?
You going to the